Yo, what's good, everyone? It's that dude, the one and only MindofMurdock, bringing it back, and we are here for another episode of Mind on Bears with the NFL schedule release. Yes, yes, we have the release, people, and today we are reacting to the Bears schedule release and the draft picks that they had. This is going to be a great one. I definitely appreciate those showing the love and support with this channel so far. We're going to go ahead and keep it skyrocketing. So if you haven't already, definitely make sure you hit that follow button. If you're on Twitch, on YouTube, definitely make sure you sub and like and share with a couple people. Definitely appreciate it. Now let's go ahead and get into this schedule. So as you can tell here, we have the 2025 Chicago Bears schedule. Now, me myself, I see it as, hey, we can make it happen, people. We can do something. Based off of the team that Ben Johnson just gave us, he shored up the offensive interior of the line. We still have questions on the left side. We believe he shored up the middle because at the end of the day, these guys could possibly not work out also. You know, Jonah's a little bit of a question mark with him being an injury concern coming from, his team. And, at the end of the day, we still do have DeAndre Swift on our team, which when we first got him from the Bears, I didn't necessarily like Swift because I was thinking, with this team having such a great offensive line, why would they give up on him? Why would they do that? And so they gave up on him, and then they got Barkley, and then you see what happened. So, and then you see what happened with us with Swift. So, I just don't quite know. But overall, it's going to be very interesting. So, starting off with the first game, we have the Minnesota Vikings on the 18th of September. This is going to be a late game. I know everybody's going to have all their popcorn and their meals in their stomach, so everybody's going to be watching this game. I'm going to be looking forward to it too, because at the end of the day, guess what? This is actually JJ McCarthy's first game. He was injured last year, and this would be his first game against us. So that's definitely going to be interesting to see. Finally, two of the top picks from last year go at it, which is Caleb Williams and JJ McCarthy. In this game, I see myself going with more of a, um, the Bears got something to show. We have too many weapons at this point. I got a feeling that, this game is really going to be about Cole Komet, possibly a little bit of Colston Loveland, and definitely it's going to have some DJ in there. So, knowing that, at the end of the day, our coach has been talking about, meaning Ben Johnson has been talking about the running game. I see us doing everything we can to have a well balanced game against Minnesota, and I see us taking that game against Minnesota. Sorry, I had to do the right one. So that'll be one for us already. Then moving on, it wasn't 18, it was the 8th. Sorry about that. So that was 9-8. Then 9-14, we have, man, oh man, a great rivalry that's going to be even greater. It might even be bigger than the Green Bay rivalry at the end of the day, which is the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, it's going to be a midday game. One of the first games of the day. Bears are usually in that time slot, so that's kind of normal for us. Detroit is going to feel the type of way about not having been there. They're going to try to pull out every stop. And I wouldn't be surprised if they pull out some of the old plays. At the end of the day, I still don't think Ben Johnson is quite ready on that one, just because it is his old team, and I feel like he might really want to give them an opportunity to, you can have the first one, but after that, it's over with type thing. So I do see the Bears taking an L in that game. Moving along to 921 against the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are a team that I didn't know what Jerry was doing when he didn't make any, real big splashes during free agency. I didn't know what he was doing during the draft quite until I seen some of the picks. I was like, you know what, Tyler Booker that's a solid pick. That's a solid pick. And then all of a sudden, the Cowboys make a signing in the offseason, meaning, after the draft. I mean, hey, Dak, there's no excuses. There is no excuses whatsoever. Dallas Cowboys should really be doing their thing. So, sad to say, given the Cowboys do have a nice structured offensive line, their defense needs some milk, but they're going to get there. I would have to say, I believe Dallas Cowboys will take that one and will kind of just, that'll kind of be the first hit of the season. Like, ugh, we're hurt. Moving along, we have the Las Vegas Raiders on 9/28. That's going to be a great one. Going against the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm looking forward to seeing what they have because at the end of the day, that's a team that's literally bare bones. It's a team that you're looking forward to seeing lose. So I'm wondering exactly how they're going to lose. I see them lining themselves up for next year, probably an Arch Manning situation, because they did pass up on Shador this year. So at the end of the day, without making anything complicated, I see us taking that win. So right now we're 2-2, and that's right before the bye. At this point, I see the Bears truly finding their game plan. Ben Johnson making sure he knows exactly what he wants to do. He sees by this time if DeAndre Swift is that guy to do what he wants, and also if Swift isn't that guy, guess what? I see Roshan, and I also see Cal Manungai. Both of them coming in and actually showing something. So it might just be a situation where we have a rookie running back by the bye week going against Washington coming up on the 13th of October. That will be a nice matchup. Definitely look forward to the video on that one. I'm definitely going to have videos prepping each and every single one of these games. So if you haven't already, once again, like I said, definitely make sure that you follow this, podcast if you're listening to the podcast. And also, by the way, hit that subscribe to this stream at the moment and video. I definitely appreciate that level of support as a Bears fan and just in general covering the NFC North. So yeah, when it comes down to going against Jaden Daniels is getting nothing but weapons, nothing but weapons. He's got Debo. They got a nice running game with. Look, I'm not even gonna point it out. We're just gonna go to where it really matters. The Hail Mary. Last year, the Chicago Bears had them before the Hail Mary actually hit us, and when the Hail Mary hit, it hit hard. So I don't see that happening again. That was coaching incompetence and also a player not being disciplined. Players this whole offseason have been asking for Ben Johnson, and in general, last season have been asking the coaching staff in general, can you please coach us? Coach us harder. And when people are asking for you to coach them harder, that's a problem because you should already be coaching them harder. They should really be in the opposite end where, let's say, the Chicago Bulls were with Tom Thibodeau, where he was running all his players to the ground. He was practicing and coaching, them extra hard. So, with that being said, on that Monday night game, because everybody and their mama's going to be watching that game, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it, I see the Chicago Bears pulling out a very, very, very tight victory. Just given Jaden Daniels and them, I think they're going to try to, continue what they did last year, even though that was a fluke. They're going to try to continue it, so it's going to be a real good game. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how that goes, but I'll give that to my Chicago Bears. Now, moving along, we have the Saint. Sorry. Uh, sorry about that. Uh, Moving along, we have the Saints. That'll be 10-19 at noon. The Saints is a team that, you know, they're working on things. And it seems like right now Derek Carr just retired, and it looks like it's a Tyler Shuck team. Tyler Shuck has a couple more years on his belt than other rookies, so he might be a little bit more seasoned for them. By this point in the season, he might even be the starter, so he might really have a game plan behind him. Crazy enough to say, I don't see necessarily Tyler Shook doing anything. I see this a combined game where their team in general. Sorry, my AC was making noise. Uh, this would be a game in general where both teams find a way to kind of give it to each other. So at the end of the day, I'll give it to my Chicago Bears. That'll be yet another victory. And by this time, we are 4-2 going against the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is definitely one of those players that has the dual threat quality, especially when he has teammates like Zay Flowers on the side to help him out. Fantastic tight end and Mark Andrews. There's not too much you can do, especially you're looking at their running back with Derrick Henry. There's not too much you can really do with that. But guess what? They've shown there's not much they can do with it either. At the end of the day, they've had an elite team for quite some time. They added Derrick Henry last year. I really thought last year would have been, and I said it myself in a few videos, it's their prove it year. And yeah, they didn't prove it. So what I'm gonna go ahead and say is, at this point in time, they're not even gonna prove it against the Bears. They're gonna go ahead and not show up. Our defense is actually gonna show that Lamar Jackson needs to get some milk at this point in time. Just our defense at that time. I think that they're really gonna solidify some things, and then our offense is gonna do what they do. I see us at least getting 24 points against them. I'm gonna just say that now, because by this time I see the team really gelling. The Chicago Bears, that is. So I'm going to go ahead and give that victory to the Chicago Bears. Moving along to 11:12 noon against the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are a team that, hey, just like Lamar Jackson and them, they should have actually shown up. They got all these weapons. They got T. Higgins. They got Chase. They got, one of the best, if not, I'll just leave it there. Just they have a fantastic quarterback in Joe Burrow, and it's they got to do something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too deep into their team, but they have so much going on that you're just surprised that they just don't show up at certain times. And Joe Burrow can mess around and score 45 points, 50, just like Josh Allen can mess around and score 45, 50 points. And for some reason, they're still going to lose that game. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give us that game as well. We're going to go ahead and beat Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. Moving along to the New York Giants. November 9th. November 9th. That'll be the day after my birthday. So that's cool. There's going to be a Bears game right after my birthday. So at the end of the day, I'm going to instantly give them a victory for that. Bears fans, everybody, come on. Let's get that victory. Let's bear down for Mom Gang, MindofMurdock. Let's make sure we smash that like button if you're at this point of the video. Also, I would appreciate that. And definitely share a comment down below. That'll be my birthday. So I'm looking forward to, seeing that day and seeing that game in general, because my birthday would be the day before that on the 8th, but the 9th, it's going to be nice to see. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give that to him. Abdul Carter's going to show up. Their defense is going to show up to a certain amount, but at the end of the day, it's my birthday. I think Caleb and them are going to have a fantastic offensive showing. The defense is going to show up big time. I'm going to go ahead and even predict that, we're going to have a few pick sixes that day, maybe two. And if not two pick sixes, at least 4 sacks. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Maybe 4 sacks and a fumble. Let's put that on record. 4 sacks and a fumble. That's a birthday wish. One of those outcomes. Two pick sixes from the Bears, or 4 sacks and a fumble. And both of those games have to come out and wins. That type of thing. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave it there. Straight up victory against the New York Giants. But throughout the whole season, I know we're all going to keep our eyes out on Mason Graham and Abdul Booker and see exactly what they're doing and how they are. At the end of the day, if you have these top defensive players and out of position players, meaning non-quarterback players, going at the top, you got to see if they're still showing up. If they're starting to not show up, maybe we do need to start making a change and switch it back over to, running back, wide receiver, cornerback, so on and so forth. And then quarterbacks kind of are sprinkled in. But either way, moving along, the Minnesota Vikings, 11-16. That's going to be a great one. This right here will be the Vikings, quote unquote, revenge game. They're going to be looking to come at us and do a completely different game plan than they did before. I got a feeling that on some senses we're going to underestimate them just a little bit at this point, because we're going to feel ourselves. And JJ is going to kind of have his breakout, not necessarily against us, but he's going to be within that little mode of, hey, I'm a quarterback too. We did have the best quarterback drafting class with me, Caleb, Jaden, so on and so forth. What's his name from the Broncos? What's his name? Jeez, what's his name? I'm seeing his face and everything. Bo. Yeah, Bo. Uh, but anyway, so with saying that, I do see us losing that game against the Minnesota Vikings. Moving along, 11-23 against the Steelers. The Steelers is a team that I'm looking forward to just destroying. Okay, because I got a feeling that Aaron Rodgers is going to be there, and Aaron Rodgers hasn't been able to see us. He dodged that smoke. You know what I'm saying? He made sure to dodge that smoke with his injury and his ayahuasca use. You know, but all jokes aside, if Aaron Rodgers is there, I'm looking forward to, having a fantastic game against him, and possibly making him rethinking, you know, uh, trying the Bears ever again. But without even thinking that, let's just say it's Mason Rudolph or Kirk Cousins or some other quarterback within the season, not Cousins, but you know what I mean, that they get. At the end of the day, I see the Chicago Bears beating the Steelers. I don't see them having a game plan. I actually see the Steelers losing out, and I see that they're in the contest for Arch Manning next year in general. Just period. I just see them doing that, especially at this point in time in the league. They're done. They're not doing too much more. Moving along, we have 11:28. Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champs. Look, we gave you Jaden Daniels, and the league gave you the tush push, right? Right? Yeah, that's true. It's very true. But by this point, I think everybody's going to find a formula to just beat the Eagles in general. I think the Eagles have had a good time. Just like Kansas City Chiefs. I believe they had a good time. So, with that being said, I truly see that at this point, the Eagles may or may not have a squad to kind of do that repeat, that little cycle that we're looking at. But at the end of the day, the Bears tried. This is going to be a fight back and forth. But sad to say, I see the Eagles tush pushing their way to a victory. Now, the first meeting between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears, 12-7 at noon. So it's a daytime game. It's going to be one of those games that people are going to wake up bright and early, get your popcorn ready, get your food, get whatever little snacks ready, and you just kind of have a beer, or you just have something real nice and chill, but you have your spirit, get your jersey on, rep your squad. Everyone's looking forward to seeing that. That's going to be the first time Matthew Golden gets to go against a true NFC opponent in the Chicago Bears. Uh, and it's going to be interesting to see what Jordan Love is by that time of the season. At that point, uh, he's got to show up too. He's got to do something, right? Green Bay's going to start, thinking about the future of their quarterback. They're going to think about going over the hump themselves because they haven't went past a certain point. So at this point in the season, I do see Green Bay trying something, doing a couple moves here and there, and trying to be, how should I say, slick in their game plan. Let's just say that. They're going to try to be slick in their game plan. Watch. Mark my words. They're going to be slick in their game plan going against the Chicago Bears. And with that, I actually see the Green Bay Packers losing to the Chicago Bears this one because of the fact that they're just not ready. They still weren't ready. They weren't ready at the end of the year, and they're not ready in the middle of the year. So they got to see us throughout all this time. They think they know us, and then guess what? All this time throughout the whole season, all of these games, they're like, man, the Bears just won 8 of them things. We still don't know what we can do with them. We don't know, they don't know what to do. They just don't know, right? They just don't know. So at this point, I do see us taking that victory and just moving along. And as you can see, moving along later on in December, just 7 days later, December 14th, noon, same thing. It's a day game. It's against the Browns. Look, the Browns are the Browns, but by this point, I do not see Dylan Gabriel being the starting quarterback for the Browns. What I do see at this point is Shador Sanders being a starter quarterback for the Browns. And at this point, I do see Shador Sanders possibly pulling out a couple tricks out of his book and doing something a little bit different. Now, the thing is, Shador on to the side for a second. The Browns did draft Mason Graham. Mason Graham hasn't necessarily looked like the best in their training camp. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how he is by this point of the league. If Mason Graham is working out and Shador is working out, I'm sorry to say, Bears fans, just right now, because we may need a little bit, more help on the offensive line, given they have Mason Graham, They got Miles Sanders, and they got that other dude on the other side. I forgot his name on their defense that can kind of complement Miles Sanders amongst other pieces. Um, strange to say, I would love to say that the Bears would easily get this, but with those factors, I would have to say the Bears would lose this game against the Browns. All right. Moving along to the second game against the Green Bay Packers. I do not understand why the schedule makers made it that we go against the Packers back to back like this, especially in December. Um, wow. They're just trying to beat up on the NFC North, I guess, or have us beat up on each other real quick because of all the firepower that the North had last year. We just kind of fell short with, maybe 3 games that we kind of gave up to people. But either way, that's neither here nor there. It's the new season. So with that, I would have to say, Green Bay, they happen to get this one, y'all. Sad to say. Bears fans, they got it. They got this one. They got this one, Bears fans. They got us. They got us. It was like, ooh, shit, ooh, my bad. That's what happened, right? We just got just a little hit. I feel like this would be a game that goes down to the wire. They've seen enough of us. We just seen them the other week before that, and I think there's going to be a game of nutrition or nutrition. I believe that's how they say it. But either way, um, 3 points, a field goal. That's what's going to make it a winner at the end of the day. And yeah, I see Green Bay pulling that one out right there, and we're kind of just like, okay, no problem. No problem. Don't worry. We split the season series. Don't worry. We'll see you next year, but don't forget, y'all just don't just beat us like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that no more. All right. And moving along, if you've enjoyed everything in this video, definitely make sure you smash that subscribe and like button. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much. This has been a long one talking about it, and I appreciate everyone here. So now going against my son's second favorite team, the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy. Guess what? He wants to get paid. This season, I didn't look at their schedule, so I don't know if he's going to get paid if I was looking at their schedule. But looking at them going against us at the end of the day, I see us truly putting Brock Purdy just on the ground every 2 to 3 seconds. Brock Purdy's going to be on the ground every 2 to 3 seconds. Every 2 to 3 seconds. If he takes up to three, 1, 2, once you hit 3 seconds, he's hit. Sack. That's it. I got a feeling our team is going to just feel a type of way after losing to Green Bay. We're just going to just, like, what? We just, you know what I'm saying? Let's bear down. What are we doing? So with that being said, I see us taking that victory, and that right there will make it our 10th victory of the season, giving us 10-6 on the season. And with the last game of the 2025 season, I should say, um, the Chicago Bears are going against the Detroit Lions, a game where Ben Johnson can go ahead and have a little farewell with Detroit, kind of show love to them. And I got a feeling that's going to be a game that Ben Johnson's going to pull out all the tricks just because. Now, I will say this. Given we are 10-6 at this time, I'm expecting for some starters to possibly not be in this last game, given we're in the playoffs. We don't want to necessarily get hurt like that. But at the same time, just to put the nail in the hammer, nail in the wall, whatever, hammer down, whatever the phrase is, my bad. I'm in pain right now. But to take care of Detroit and kind of, also show love to Detroit. I got a feeling we're gonna pull out all the trick plays, and we're gonna win this one decisively. Definitely decisively. I got a feeling if Dennis Allen really, truly by this point has our defense locked down, and then our offense does what it needs to with all these weapons, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, Cole Komet, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, if we really solidify what we can do with these weapons, I truly feel like this will be a great, great season. And at the end of the day, I see us ending the season at 11-6 overall. Definitely playoff bound. I do still see the NFC North being one of the most dangerous conferences in general in football. Looking forward to seeing what the rest of these teams have for us, because at the end of the day, a lot of these teams have more potential than others. But without giving too much into my details for the next video, I encourage you all to definitely comment below if you would like to see certain team schedules reacted to before they start. And until next time, this has been an episode of Mind on Bears. Thanks for showing up, and yeah. I really hope the Bears do their thing, man. Everyone was thinking somewhat like this, and we'll see what really happens. Bear down.